Hey guys, so this video is going to be a really quick note on cybersecurity. It's a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and is kind of into the news a lot lately. So let's talk about securing the virtual machine we just set up. Out of the box, a lot of these droplets are actually pretty secure. So there's a few different ways to secure a system that is fa internet facing. Uh, so one way is to have it behind a firewall, which we can actually set those up and down here. These are web application firewalls, so they're kind of defined in the cloud that everyone loves to talk about. Um, Basically what they do is they manage a series of network access control lists on the provider's switch, and they will open and close ports based on that information. Kind of cool. Don't really necessarily. It is really good to have, but you don't need it, right? Um, the biggest thing that I really want to cover right now is these. So there are always updates whenever you have an operating system, especially in a production environment. That's internet facing, you want to try to keep your system as up to date as possible. This is a fresh install. What I do like about these droplets is they literally just have SSH enabled, and that's it, right? So in our case, we ended up setting up an SSH key that was here, as well as in the previous videos. But because of that, now we don't have password authentication. And that actually stopped a number of attacks against our virtual machine. So for example, brute force attacks, right? They really can't be done now because we have an SSH key. So the server is going to say, oh, you don't have this key? Denied. It's not even going to prompt you for a password. But on the topic of updates again, so we actually want to run updates here. So I believe the command is apt-get upgrade. It's been a while since I've done any kind of Ubuntu stuff. So this looks like it's going to work. So it's literally just going to download every single update and just bam, install it, which is great. And then we'll actually restart the virtual machine to make sure that the new packages took. So Linux terminology, just for everyone's awareness, programs are sometimes called packages, and in this case, they're .dev files. For Red Hat Linux, it's going to be an RPM file, and they're basically pre-compiled binaries that you just kind of get from the vendor. If you're a software developer, you might want to compile all of your stuff into a package because it will pull down all the dependencies. Uh, Linux doesn't really function the same way Windows does, where you get like a single executable that just kind of works. Uh, Linux has a bunch of source files, and basically it pulls DLL files from the internet and a bunch of other things. So these types of files are where the security flaws kind of happen. So you definitely want to keep everything up to date because those DLL files will update as a program updates over the life cycle of the entire program. Like something that's been out for 10 years might have, 1,000 something updates. If you're rocking on something from 5 years ago, there's a good chance that you will have some security vulnerabilities there. So pretty much updating the system is pretty straightforward. It's follow the prompts, right? Uh, and then we're just gonna do a reboot. Oop, I have all caps on. And it's gonna go down and come back up. And it's not up yet. Alright, so there's another way we could actually test to see if this thing is up. And we are going to issue the command ping. And we're gonna see what's going on here. Nope. Alright, so it's pinging. Maybe it is now back up. There we go. Alright, it's back up. Now it's a new release. I don't really want to upgrade that release just yet. just because that's going to take a little bit longer to do. The next video, we're going to go into installing some applications and really start to kind of use our virtual machine now that it's set up and pretty much upgraded. Yeah. So, we're not going to go over load balancers yet, anything like that. We're not going to go over create manage databases. I haven't used that feature yet. Um, but just know there are ways to integrate load balancers similar to firewalls to where you can actually secure your system with that. Kind of cool. There's also another thing called proxy servers that you can use. I don't see that here listed on the little web interface thing. So yeah. Anyway, next video, gonna start installing some applications. Definitely like and subscribe because we're really starting to get into the fun stuff now. And I will see y'all in the next video.